What the hell is going on in this house? Why is this a mess? Heidi, come home right now. Ugh, I can't believe it. Are you really my wife? What a shame my wife couldn't do even the easiest thing in the house. Is that too hard for you to clean the house? Where on earth are you right now? Come back home, I demand you.
Hi, darling. Sorry I couldn't come home right now, because I'm in a very important meeting with the boss. I can't sneak out and come home right away.
A meeting? Seriously, Heidi? You choose now to have a meeting? I don't care how important it is, our house is a disaster. It's like a tornado swept through here. I can't even find a clean plate to eat off of.
I understand your frustration, Simon, but this meeting was completely unexpected. The boss called it at the last minute, and I couldn't say no. You know how important it is for my career to make a good impression on him. I promise, as soon as the meeting is over, I'll rush back home and help clean up.
I just don't get it, Heidi. We've talked about this before. I work long hours, and when I come home, I expect to find a clean and organized house. It's not too much to ask, is it?
I know, Simon, and I usually keep the house in order. But this one time, I couldn't help it. I didn't anticipate this meeting, and I didn't want to jeopardize my job. Can't you understand that?
So you think your job is that important? More than me? More than this house? Oh no, lady, you're totally wrong. You're my wife, so you have to obey me and do everything I tell you to do. But now, instead of keeping your mouth shut and coming back home, you just simply leave me burdened with all the responsibility around here. I come home exhausted, and the last thing I need is a messy house. You're so useless that it drives me nuts. You always know how to make me feel awful and irritated, don't you?
Ugh, Simon, why are you always complaining about the house? It's not like I do nothing around here. I usually keep things in order, but I had this unexpected meeting. Can't you just cut me some slack for once?
It's not about cutting you slack, Heidi. You have continuously been lazy all the time, and you always blame everything on your work. Ugh, it's just been overwhelming lately. I work long hours, and when I come home to a messy house, it adds to my stress. I just want to find a balance where we both contribute and maintain a clean living space.
Oh, so now it's all about your stress? What about my stress at work? I have deadlines to meet and a boss to impress. I can't always drop everything just to clean up after you.
It's not about cleaning up after me, Heidi. We're partners, and we both have responsibilities. I've been feeling overwhelmed, and I thought we could find a way to balance our work and household duties together.
Oh, poor Simon. Overwhelmed by a little mess. Maybe you should hire a maid if it bothers you so much. Then you won't have to rely on me to keep things tidy.
Hiring a maid isn't the point, Heidi. Why do I have to hire one when I already have you? And having a free maid in the house, isn't it more economical? I am a manager myself. I know what's best for this house's finances. Well, I thought we could have an open and honest conversation about this, but it seems like you've just been being dismissive and sarcastic.
Fine. Let's have this conversation then. What brilliant solution do you have in mind, Mr. Clean Freak?
How dare you call me freak? Whatever, it's none of my concern. Well, about the chore. I figured it out long ago. From now on, I'll make a schedule, so you could base on that to finish your housework properly. Wow, it's an intelligent idea, isn't it?
Oh, a chore schedule. How romantic. I guess I'll just pencil in Simon's nagging time while I'm at it.
This isn't a joke, Heidi. I'm trying to express my feelings and find a solution. If you can't take this seriously, then I don't know what to say to you. Ugh, marrying you just wasted my precious time. With my current position as manager of our family's company, I could easily find a much better and more obedient wife. Ha 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 ha!
Oh, I'm sorry, Simon. I didn't realize cleaning was such a life or death situation for you. I can't believe that you could talk to your wife this way. Finding another wife? How ridiculous is that? It's unacceptable. You're being too much, don't you know that?
What the hell are you talking about? Being too much? Who is really being too much here? You are. You don't even bother to come home to take care of your own family. That's why I, your husband, have to do my job to teach you how to be a good wife. So is it better if you at least say thanks to me?
Holy crap! Simon, is this really the way you talk to your wife? I'm simply asking for understanding and empathy. We're partners, and we should be supporting each other, not tearing each other down. What you're really doing is not only hurtful, but completely inappropriate.
Well, maybe if you showed more appreciation for everything I do, I wouldn't have to resort to such extreme thoughts. I'm not asking for much, just a little bit of household chores that every wife could certainly do for their husband. Is that too much to ask?
Ugh, I can take it no more. You're making a fuss over nothing. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I gotta go back to my meeting. Talking to you is just a waste of my time.
No, I'm not done. Heidi? Well, you'll see. You dare to speak against my words, then I'll make you pay for it.
Hi, Heidi, my dear. Have you prepared for dinner tonight?
Oh, sorry, Mary. I'm still at work right now. The workload is so heavy that I have to work extra time to finish it. I'm really sorry for that. But I'll try to make it up to you next time, I promise.
No. Of course, you don't have to. I'll make dinner for you tonight. Don't worry about that. And by the way, don't force yourself, Heidi. You've been working too much these days. Health is gold, so you'd better know how to balance between work and relaxation, okay? I'm so worried about your health. You seem much thinner recently.
Thank you, Mary. Your understanding means a lot to me. I appreciate your offer to make dinner tonight, but I don't want to burden you. It's kind of you to worry about my health as well. I have been feeling a bit overwhelmed lately, and I know I need to find a better balance.
Heidi, you're like a true daughter to me, and I genuinely care about your well-being. Don't worry about burdening me. I enjoy cooking, and it's my way of showing love and support. You always take care of everyone around you, so it's time for someone to take care of you.
I guess you're right, Mary. It's just hard for me to let go and accept help sometimes. But I've been neglecting my own needs, and it's starting to take a toll on my health and happiness. I've been so stressed these days. It's like everything's fighting back against me.
Oh my god! What happened to my dear daughter-in-law? Just tell me right away. If there's anything I can help you with, just share it with me. No one has a right to hurt you, Heidi. Don't be afraid to tell me. I'm all ears.
No, everything is fine. It's just that
What's that? Someone bullies you?
no one bullies me. But Simon, he's being unreasonable. He always makes me do the household chores for him.
Simon is treating you that way. I can't believe you would be so unfair and insensitive. You deserve better, Heidi. No one should be taking advantage of you or making you solely responsible for household chores. This needs to be addressed.
It's been building up over time, Mary. Simon has this expectation that I should take care of all the household chores while he focuses solely on his career. I've tried to talk to him about it, but he dismisses my concerns and acts like it's my duty as his wife.
Heidi, you are not a maid or a servant. Marriage is about partnership and equal responsibilities. It's not right for him to impose such one-sided expectations on you. You deserve respect and understanding. I'll find a way to address this with Simon. He can't do this to you. I'll never allow that to happen to you, Heidi.
Thank you for understanding, Mary. I felt trapped in this cycle, trying to meet Simon's expectations while neglecting my own needs. It's affecting my well-being and our relationship. I want to find a solution where we can share the responsibilities and create a more balanced atmosphere.
Well, I'll deal with him. I'm his mother, so I have the responsibility to teach him how to behave like a real husband. I'll never just stand there and watch him hurt you.
Having you by my side in this conversation will make a significant difference, Mary. Simon values your opinion and guidance, and I believe he'll be more receptive to hearing how his actions are affecting both of us. I hope this can be a turning point for our relationship.
Of course you will. I'll try my best to help you. I know that my son could possibly hurt you sometimes, but could you please forgive him? He's been living in wealth and luxury since he was born. And I regret spoiling him too much, which is also the reason why he becomes such an arrogant person nowadays. I used to think that if I gave him the manager chair, he'd know how to adjust his behavior, but it seems not. He's even more and more stubborn.
Mary, we all make mistakes as parents. It's not easy to strike the right balance between providing for our children and teaching them humility and responsibility. It takes courage to admit our faults and learn from them. I believe that if you could talk and explain everything to him, he'll change for the better.
You do think so?
Yes, I'm sure. I'm hopeful that you could certainly change him and make him become a better version of himself. You're a mom, so of course you do know what's the best for him, right?
Yes, right, Heidi. Thank you for your forgiveness and understanding. It means a lot to me. I want our family to heal and grow together. I don't want you or anyone in these families to suffer. Therefore, I'll resort to any way to teach him and make him become a responsible son and husband as well.
Yes, that's the way to go.
Heidi, you've become such an important part of our family, and I'm grateful for the love and care you bring to our lives. So please, if you have any difficulties living in this house, just tell me, okay? I'll stand by your side.
Sure, thank you so much. I gotta get back to work now. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to come back for dinner, okay?
Okay, I'll be there.
Heidi, how many times do I have to tell you? It's 7 a.m. You're supposed to wake up early to make my breakfast. Just look at what you're doing right now. Are you elsewhere enjoying your peaceful day without working? What kind of logic is that? Are you being out of your mind?
Simon, seriously? I can't even comprehend what you're trying to do here. Are you honestly forcing me to make breakfast for you? Do you even have any idea where I am right now?
Well, wherever you are, just drop everything and come home quickly. I need my breakfast, and I'm tired of your lazy attitudes toward taking care of your own husband. It's about time you started fulfilling your responsibilities.
Oh, give me a break. I can't believe you're being this stubborn and demanding. However, it's not my sole responsibility to cater to your every whim and fancy, especially when you're perfectly capable of taking care of yourself. And you know what? I'm at the hospital.
What? Hospital? What are you doing there? Why do you have to hide in the hospital? Are you afraid of doing the housework that much?
What? You think that I'm using the hospital visit as an excuse to get out of doing household chores? How could you even think that, Simon? What kind of husband are you? How could you be so heartless and unsympathetic? Okay, whether you genuinely don't know or you're pretending not to know, I'll make it crystal clear for you. Yesterday, during our argument, you pushed me forcefully, causing me to fall and hit my head on the edge of the table. It was an accident, but it hurt really badly, and I was in a lot of pain. That's why I had to rush to the hospital in the middle of the night to seek proper medical treatment. I was genuinely concerned for my well-being, and the doctor confirmed that if I had delayed seeking treatment, even by a little bit, the consequences could have been much worse. I could have suffered severe complications.
Like I care. It's just a small wound, Heidi. It's not like it's going to kill you or anything. You're making such a big deal out of nothing. I can't believe you're acting like such a weak little rat. And after all, it's you who dared to speak against my order. So I just want to teach you a lesson. Isn't it the duty of a husband to teach his wife how to behave? Actually, if you hadn't been so stubborn and listened to me instead, things wouldn't be like this. So it's all your fault you're at the hospital right now.
Oh my god, so now you're blaming everything on me? Even when you're the reason for that? How could you say that to your wife? I am at the hospital just because of you. You hit me several times right after we got married. Sometimes you hit me so hard that I had to stay in bed for days. And you don't even feel a little guilty about your act? You're not my husband. You're a monster.
Oh, come on, Heidi. Do you really expect me to take you seriously? It's just a scratch, for crying out loud. You're acting like a drama queen, making a mountain out of a molehill. Can't you toughen up a little bit?
Seriously, Simon, this is not the time for your dismissive attitude. It's not just a scratch. It's about the disregard for my well-being and the pain you've caused me. And now you're going to blame me for speaking up against your orders? I have a right to express my opinions and stand up for myself. After all, I'm your wife, not your servant. I don't have the obligation to listen to you like a cowardly dog.
Oh, poor little Heidi, thinking she has the right to challenge me. You should know your place, woman. It's my duty as your husband to show you how to behave. Maybe if you were a bit more obedient, we wouldn't be in this mess.
Excuse me? Obedient? I am not a child, Simon. We are supposed to be equal partners in this relationship, and that means treating each other with respect and kindness. Your idea of teaching a lesson through violence is not only wrong, but also abusive. I will not tolerate being treated like a punching bag.
Oh, here we go with the victim card. You're acting like I've been beating you every day. It was just a couple of times, and you're blowing it out of proportion. I don't even know why you're making such a fuss about it. You're being overly sensitive. If you are a staff at my company, you will be fired sooner or later. So stop acting like you're a victim and know your place in this house.
Overly sensitive? Simon, physical violence is never acceptable, no matter how many times it happens. It's a clear violation of trust and an abuse of power. And you know what? It's not just about the physical pain. It's about the emotional scars that take much longer to heal. I deserve better than to be treated like this, and I won't tolerate it any longer.
Fine, play the victim all you want. It's always about you, isn't it? You never take responsibility for your part in our arguments. If you had just listened to me and done what I said, we wouldn't be in this situation. But no, you always have to defy me and cause trouble.
Simon, I will not let you twist this around and blame me for your violent actions. I am not responsible for your inability to control your anger. I am not at fault for expressing my thoughts or standing up for myself. It's time for you to take ownership of your behavior and seek help to address your anger management issues.
Oh, sure, blame everything on me. That's what you always do, isn't it? I'm not the monster you're making me out to be. You're just exaggerating everything to make me look bad.
Simon, I am not exaggerating. I am speaking my truth and standing up for my own well-being. I can't believe you're my husband. That's it. I can't take it any longer. Fine. Let's just divorce.
Divorce? Are you for sure?
Yes. I never want to live with you for any second.
Wow, my wife wants to divorce me? That's incredible. But fine. I've longed for this day to come. Now I can marry a true wife of mine. Poor you. You can't dig any more gold from this family, can you? But it serves you right. Ha ha ha.
What? Ugh. All your words are just gonna get on my nerves. Cut it out. I'm tired. I want to rest.
Simon! What have you done with Heidi? Why is she in the hospital? Did you beat her and hit her?
Mom, what's wrong? What with Heidi? Did she tell you something?
Of course, she told me everything. You hit her so hard that she had to go to the hospital at midnight alone.
Oh, Mom, calm down. It's not that big of a deal. Heidi's just being dramatic as usual. She's always blowing things out of portion. Besides, she's perfectly capable of taking care of herself. She didn't need me to give her a ride to the hospital.
Simon, this is not the time for your dismissive attitude. Your wife is in the hospital because of her actions. Physical violence is never acceptable, and it's certainly not something to brush off as if it's no big deal. How can you be so cold-hearted and unsympathetic?
Oh, come on, Mom. You know how Heidi is. She's always exaggerating and playing the victim. I didn't hit her that hard. It was just a little scuffle, nothing more. She's just trying to make me look bad.
Simon, I can't believe what I'm hearing. Your wife is in the hospital, and instead of showing concern and remorse, you're blaming her and downplaying the severity of the situation. This is not the behavior of a responsible and caring husband. You need to take this seriously and reflect on your actions.
Okay, fine. I understand what you mean. But she's always so stubborn, Mom. She never listens to me. If she had just done what I said, we wouldn't be in this mess. It's not all my fault.
Simon, it is never acceptable to resort to violence, regardless of the circumstances or disagreements you may have had. You are responsible for your own actions, and blaming Heidi or making excuses only shows a lack of accountability. You need to take a hard look at yourself and make changes for the better.
Whatever, Mom. You're always taking her side. Maybe you should talk to me and hear my side of the story. I'm not the bad guy here. She's just playing the victim to get sympathy.
Simon, I love you, but I will not tolerate you minimizing the pain and suffering that Heidi has endured. I will support her and stand by her side because that's what a loving mother does. You need to take responsibility for your actions, seek help, and work towards rebuilding the trust and respect that you have shattered.
Fine. Go ahead and take her side. I don't need this. I'm out of here.
No, I'm not done with you just yet. There's something you need to know. I've had a meeting at the company and decided to fire you.
What? Are you serious, Mom? You can't fire me. I'm your son.
I don't want a jerk to manage my company. And you're not my son anymore. I cut ties with you. I don't have a son. Heidi is no longer your wife as well. She's my daughter from now on. Don't you try to convince me. It's no use.
No, you can't do this to me. I won't accept it. How can you abandon your own blood, your own son like this? This is madness. You're falling right into Heidi's manipulative trap. She's trying to tear our family apart, and you're blindly believing her lies.
Simon, enough with your delusions and conspiracy theories. I can see through your desperate attempts to deflect blame and twist the truth. This is not about Heidi trying to separate our family. It's about your violent and abusive behavior that has brought us to this point. Your actions have consequences, and Heidi has every right to take legal action against you.
Wait, what? Are you serious? She's going to sue me for violence? This can't be happening.
Of course, Simon. I am serious. Heidi has endured physical and emotional abuse at your hands, and she rightfully wants to seek justice. Violence is never acceptable, and the law will hold you accountable for your actions. It's time for you to face the consequences of your behavior, even if it means paying the price in prison.
But Mom, I didn't mean for things to go this far. I never wanted to hurt Heidi. I'm scared of going to prison. What am I going to do?
Simon, it's too late for regrets now. You should have thought about the consequences before resorting to violence. Your fear of prison is a small taste of the fear and pain that Heidi has experienced because of you. It's time for you to take responsibility for your actions, cooperate with the legal process, and seek help to address the anger and aggression that led you down to this destructive path.
Mom, please, I don't want to lose everything. I don't want to lose my family. Is there any way to make things right?
No, Simon. You've crossed the line of her endurance. She's now in the hospital, suffering her killing pain. Can't you see that? I can't just stand there and let you ruin her life. I'll do anything to save her and make her happy. She's suffered enough.
I want to change, Mom. I don't want to be this person anymore. I want to make amends and rebuild our family. Please, Mom, just tell her I'm so sorry for what I've done. Could you please tell her that and persuade her not to sue me? And I'll change. And I'll become a nice husband. I swear.
There's no chance, Simon. It's too late now. She's already made up her mind. And I'll be on her side. We give you a lot of chances to change, but you're too stubborn to do that. It's because of your stupid attitude that we have to resort to this way.
No. Mom, could you please give me just one more chance? I'll appreciate it. I'll do anything for you and Heidi. Mom? Mom!
After that, I was bombarded with continuous calls from Simon, pleading for me to give him another chance. However, I made the decision to block him immediately, knowing that it was the best thing for my own well-being. As time went on, news reached me that Simon had suffered some major setbacks. He was unexpectedly fired from his position, leaving him without a job and facing the harsh reality of being kicked out of his family's house. Much worse than that, having collected all necessary evidence, I decided to sue him for violence 3 days after. Of course, I won the court case. Well, 10 years in prison may be just enough for him to think about all of the terrible things he did to my life. His life had taken a turn for the worse, and the extent of his misery was beyond what I had anticipated. But regardless of his current state, I couldn't help but feel a sense of detachment. After all, he brought this upon himself, and I couldn't find it in me to sympathize with his circumstances. On the other hand, I have managed to fully recover from the initial shock and pain. I have found solace in the love and acceptance of my in-laws, who treat me as their own daughter. They have embraced me wholeheartedly, and I am genuinely happy to be part of their lives. I have started to rebuild and rediscover myself, shaping a new life that is filled with joy and support.